Hey guys, we're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today my special guest is Leroy from Blood, Sweat, and Sell. How are you doing today, Leroy?
Good, and yourself?
Good, good. I'm glad to see you today, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell people where you're from and what you do.
Good, and yourself?
Good, good. I'm glad to see you today, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell people where you're from and what you do.
Good, and yourself? Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, guys. I'm a rookie today. My name is Leroy from Blood, Sweat, and Sell. I'm a full-time reseller out of South Carolina, but I was born and raised in Rhode Island, and I love selling tools. I sell a little bit of everything, but 90% tools. I do a lot of my thrifting. I do at estate auctions. Some stuff I do at flea markets. I also do flea markets about 3 times a month. So I sell at flea markets. If you're in the West Coast, they actually call them they call them swap meets.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to say hi to a few people. I wanted to say hi to a day in the life of Corey. So, hey, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us today.
Hey,
and
Corey.
I wanted to say hi to Wendy is here hanging out with us. She says, hey, Leroy and Jeff. So Leroy is a full-time reseller. That's what your full-time job is buying stuff and reselling it. And you mainly sell on eBay. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. And Leroy specializes in selling tools, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Awesome, Leroy. So tell me, man, you gotta tell us the whole backstory. What first got you started into this whole reselling game, and how long have you been a full-time reseller now?
So growing up, I grew up. My life was a little rough. My family was, not the best. So I learned really young that my best friend, and I hate saying this, but my best friend was money. And so I started working hard, honestly, and trying to make a living. If it was sleeping parking lots or shoveling snow, I was doing everything I could to make money to be away from the situation that I was placed in. And then when I got a little older, I was doing landscaping, and I got some machines and lawnmowers, and I started doing a lot of like out in the east we call it swap meets, but it's a little different. So I was doing swap meets, and those are like once a year, certain facilities. So I started doing that, and I was selling my old equipment, and I was like, oh, this is really fun. Like, I'm making money. Like, this is good. I could do this. So I started selling at different flea markets and swap meets. And then, I had my landscape business on the side, and then I started on eBay probably about 20 years ago. And I would sell like stuff that I could ship easier. So not a lawnmower, but I would ship weed whackers or pieces to a weed whacker or stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So how has your sales been so far this year, Leroy?
Not too bad. I mean, like everybody knows, if you put work into it, you get work out of it. So if you list every day and you try to get your numbers up, then you're going to sell. If you don't list every day, it's going to slow down. I mean, the computers and everything know what you do, and they want to see you active. Everybody says there's algorithms, whatever there is, they want you to be active at the end of the day.
All right, Leroy. So you're a full-time reseller. Do you have a couple of tips or tricks to help people to make more sales or make more money on eBay? What would you recommend that they do?
First, if you're really new, sell stuff out of your house. Everybody has at least 3 or 4 rooms in their house. You probably got about a death closet or a death drawer, a junk drawer. Go through there and just sell old TV remotes, or if your children have toys and the toys are broken, or not broken but they're missing pieces, sell the pieces. Like you can make good money off of selling Lego pieces, and you can sell game pieces and your children's old clothes. If your children grew up and he's an adult and he went to school and he has an old video games, you can sell all that stuff little by little and build yourself up before you have to put regular cash into it.
All right, Leroy. So you're a full-time reseller. Do you have a couple of tips or tricks to help people to make more sales or make more money on eBay? What would you recommend that they do?
First, if you're really new, sell stuff out of your house. Everybody has at least 3 or 4 rooms in their house. You probably got about a death closet or a
Yeah. Speaking of remotes, I just sold a remote today. So remotes are good sellers if you have something like that laying around your house, and you can check if you have old, video games, DVDs, CDs, Blu-rays, just stuff that you have laying around your stuff that you would just get rid of and sell in a yard sale. You could just start listing online and start building up your feedback score on eBay to go ahead and get items to sell. So Leroy, have you been to any like yard sales or estate sales? Is it still cold out there where you're at?
So I live in South Carolina, so we don't ever get shut down with flea markets or estate sales. But they do slow down a little bit. But up north, when I lived in Rhode Island, it was a little different. I wasn't able to. There was no flea markets from no from November, the end of November till April, and with the swap meets again, same thing, and then with the estate sales, um, they were pretty much from spring until fall. So
Yeah, but I mean, like right now though, like have you been out maybe like on the weekends? Have you guys had any yard sales or estate
oh
sales?
well,
And
here in the South, it's a little different. Yeah, I go to the flea markets often. Um, I can go to flea markets on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I can source from those, and I also can source, like I said again, at the estate sales because they still have a few a month. So I mean, it's because of where I am, and it's still cold. Like it's cold right now. It'll be probably like 38 tonight.
yeah.
So that's so it's not super cold like I'm used to, but it's during the day it's okay, to go to yard sales and stuff like that. And I have a lot of bin stores and Goodwills in my area as well.
Yeah, I wanted to say hi to Save here first. She says, "Hey Leroy," and "Hey eBay Addict." So thank you for coming out today. So I was going to get into that, Leroy. Tell us about some of these bin stores. I've seen some of these bin stores on like Prison of Profits channel, Harry Tornado. You don't live too far from those guys, right?
Yeah,
So
no, they're in my backyard. Yeah.
all right. So tell me a little bit about about some of these bin stores. Have you been there, and what items are you looking for specifically when you go to these bin stores? Like, is there, because I've seen some of these where they have dollar days, they have fill a bag days, or you could just go in and get a whole bag of merchandise and go home with it. So talk a little bit about some of these bin stores, the way it's set up, and what is it you're specifically looking for at these places?
So when I go to the bin stores, usually there's one that's literally 2 miles away from me. The one that you see, some of these guys going to there, it's like 2 miles from my house. Um, on I believe it's on Friday, they do $6 day. So that's when they redo everything. Everything's fresh. All the bins have been emptied out and they start from scratch every Friday. So Friday is $6 day. And they do that for like 2 days, and then they drop down to $5 a day, then they drop down to $4 a day, then they go to like $1 a day, and then they go fill a bag day. And then on Wednesday they close because they reamp again, and they do it again. So me personally, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't do a lot of it right now. I have so much back stock that I'm just trying to push out between the flea market and putting some stuff on eBay to keep my eBay moving. So I don't really do a lot with I don't do a lot with the bin stores right now. I do try to go a couple times a month to visit Dante and some of the guys, and I'll go and I'll look for stuff that I know, either car parts or construction equipment or some kind of tools. I know some other stuff. I'll look for that kind of stuff.
Okay, Leroy. I wanted to ask you a few questions now. Can you get into kind of your backstory a little bit before you became a full time reseller? Like, what were you doing like before you became a full time reseller? Do you mind getting into that a little bit? And Wendy says she wants to know what platforms do you currently sell on.
I sell on eBay, and I sell on eBay. I sell on Facebook, but just Facebook locally, and I sell
Yeah.
on and I sell at the flea market.
Awesome. And I wanted to say hi to Julian, the bearded thrift machine, is here. He just stopped by. I
What's up,
have
Julian?
I have a StreamYard link that I dropped in the chat. So we're doing more interactive. So if you guys want to jump on and ask Leroy questions or come hang out with us, you can click the StreamYard link and you can jump on and hang out with me and Leroy if you want to come on and ask some questions. So Leroy, tell us a little bit about your backstory of how what you were doing kind of before you got started on being a full-time reseller. Like, can you talk a little bit about that? Like what exactly you were doing and what led your decision to be like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and switch over and do this full time.
Yeah, I started doing like I said, landscaping when I was really young, and had a landscape business for a while. Once that, then I also worked like an insurance company, so I did building maintenance. Maintenance. I got into the laborers union, started doing work at the laborers union. Again, I was a laborer, so I was doing a little bit of everything, demo, stuff like that. And I was always doing reselling on the side. I would do flea markets and the swap meets. I would do the swap meet every spring and every fall. I did 3 swap meets every spring and fall. Even when I had the landscape business, I would just recycle my equipment. And then I started just flipping stuff that way. So that was really a stepping stone into that. And once I left New England and moved down here, I started doing it totally full time. But I mean, I was still listing a lot of things when I was part time as well, and it was eBay and again flea markets.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool. I wanted to say hi. I wanted to say hi to Gravity Goods is here in the chat. I saw your post on Instagram with the purse, man. That was really creative. And I wanted to say hi to Wendy. She says you're not in your car tonight. Yeah, I actually worked all night last night for my regular job. I made like over $700, but I worked all night. Like I didn't get back home till, I don't know, 9-10 o'clock in the morning. That's why I text Leroy and I'm like, Leroy, can we reschedule for later in the afternoon around 8? Because I'm like, I can't do 4 today. I got to get caught up on my sleep. Alex says, how do you get over your eBay fees? Leroy, do you want to talk about that? The fees that eBay takes out?
Just pay them. I mean, there's really, I mean, I hate to say it like that way, but they're going to take them out. They're going to take them out. It's a platform. You're selling on their platform. When I go to the flea market, I got to pay them straight up front. That's not even when you're done. I got to pay them whatever they charge for a spot. That's what I got to pay. So you sort of you got to put it into your prices. And you just got to get used to it. It's just something that happens. Once you get some lower end stuff and push it towards your fees, make sure you have your fees covered, and then hopefully you'll stop making profit. I mean, most of us don't make profit, just enough to get by, but that's usually how it works.
Well, Alex, what I would say is just get through. Our goal is to try to get stuff for pennies on the dollar. So that's the goal. We're trying to get stuff wholesale prices and resell them for retail prices. So if you wanted to, you could sell stuff locally, like on Craigslist, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, and people can just come and meet you somewhere and give you cash, and you can pay no fees. But just think about when you pay your eBay fees, think about it as like your marketing budget, because how many millions of users are on the platform that they're bringing to buy your items that you wouldn't have. Like if I'm in my town where I'm at in Florida, there's no way I would be able to get a hold of people from New York and California and Chicago and all over the world. So just think about it as your marketing and advertising budget. You just got to get the stuff at a right price. So like, for example, I recently ordered 1,000 CDs that I had shipped in the mail to my house. And I paid $400 for 1,000 CDs, right? They're all brand new in the shrink wrap, okay? So my buy cost, if you take $400, right, divided by 1,000 CDs, my buy cost is 40 cents a piece, right? Now, if I can sell each one of them at a minimum of $10 a piece times 1,000, that's how much? That's $10,000 worth of merchandise, right? So you follow? So your initial buy cost is $400, and you turn $400 into $10,000, you're getting a 25x on your money. So even if you have to pay a 10% eBay fee, the 10% of 10,000 is what, $1,000? Think about how much margin is there between $400 and $9,000 worth of merchandise that you sold. So it's not the end of the world. If you have to pay a fee, you have to pay a fee. It's like if you have a brick and mortar store, they pay fees. They pay for water, electric. They pay employees. They pay for rent every month. They pay for marketing and advertising fees. You don't have any of that. You just pay in a small fee, on eBay when your item sells. And if you have items that are in these select categories, you can list your item for free and pay zero insertion fees. So it just depends on your business model. Like I said, Leroy is like, I sell a lot of media items. Leroy sells a lot of tools and, items like that. But it just depends on what you're selling. But don't think about it as I'm giving all this money away to eBay. Think about it as, man, if I was going to have a brick and mortar location, or if I was going to start my own e-commerce store, how much money would that cost? And how would I be able to drive traffic to that store? Think about when you see somebody in front of like an oil change, or you see a guy in front of a pizza place, and they're paying an employee to stand out there with a sign and wave traffic into the business. You have no overhead and no employees, So just think about it like that. Anyways, go ahead, Leroy. I'll let you talk. I get on a rant sometimes. Go ahead.
No. And I totally agree with you. We're not trying to discourage you. And that was a very, very good question. You also, like Jeff said, you could do, I don't know where you live, what area you live in, but do it little by little if you're scared of those fees. Facebook, you can pick up in person. A lot of people sell on Facebook. I know people that don't sell on eBay. They sell on Facebook and they sell at flea markets, and they make more than me. So, you got to do little steps, and you got to surround yourself around the right people. And like Jeff said, buy your stuff cheap. If you pay attention, I don't know if you have a bin store around you, and I'm not saying Amazon bins. I'm saying like Goodwill bins. The Goodwill bins, I like them better than I like the bin stores. That's my own personal opinion. But with that, you can sell parts and pieces. You can go buy little toys. I know people that go to the bin store every day, not the bin store, but Goodwill bins, and they will buy Barbie dolls and little kid toys, and they set up at a flea market, a low-end flea market, and they set up Barbie dolls with nappy hair, messy hair, dirty, with mark around the face, and they turn around and make $300-$400 on a Sunday.
Right. Go ahead and elaborate. If people haven't been to the Goodwill bins, explain how where that place is located, and then where I call it, where in Florida it's called the Goodwill Outlet. So you want to explain a little bit? Yeah, Goodwill Outlet, Goodwill bins. Explain kind of the way that's set up if people haven't been there before.
Yeah, so the way the bins are where I am, I haven't been to any other location, just the location in my area. And like Jeff said, it's called the Goodwill Outlets, but I think the slang word is the Goodwill bins. That's what we call it because they pull out these bins. When you go in, once you get used to it and you get hooked on it, you'll start going early. So if they open at 9 o'clock, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, you get there at 7, you get your spot in line. It's like going to get concert tickets. You go, you wait, and you want to try to be within the first 10 because right now with Corona, you'll get your own pallet. So nobody's supposed to be in the pallet with you. So you go in, you find it. You got to look quick. You go, you look, you get your eye. You say, okay, I'm lucky on this bin, and you grab that bin. You go in and you start taking stuff out and throwing it to the other side. And you take out everything that you think is worth something and you put it in your bin. You don't look it up. You don't have time for that. You just take it, you put it in your bin. And sometimes if you're lucky, you grab 2 bins and you just fill up as much stuff as you can. Then you go around, you scout because I don't like clothing or glassware, anything like that, doesn't mean that Jeff or someone else doesn't like that. So they might throw it on the other side out of their bin because they weren't interested in it. So you should always scan the bins and see what else. Then you go into a corner. You go into a corner, you get your phone out, make sure your battery's charged, and you start scanning the stuff. Now, here's the good thing with these bin stores is you don't have to buy it until you source it. So what I'm trying to say is you can comp it out, see what it is, see how much it's worth, see how much you're going to get if it's selling, and then you can buy it or you can throw it back in the bin. when I go to the flea market, sometimes it's spur of the moment. I don't got time to look it up on my phone. I gotta buy it. I gotta love it or leave it.
Yeah.
The bin stores, some of these bin stores, what they do is they just grab everything they can, and then they go off, and they can't kick you out. You can spend hours there and just scan through everything and put it in a bin.
Yeah, guys, if you guys haven't been, I haven't been in a while to the Goodwill bins, but they also call it like the weigh-in pay, and you'll go in there and it's merchandise that they couldn't sell at the regular Goodwill stores, and it goes to the Goodwill Outlet, and then basically they'll weigh your shopping cart when you go in, and then they'll weigh you when you go out, and they charge you so much per pound, whether it's, I don't know, $1.25 per pound or whatever it is. So you can get items like Leroy's wearing a hat. You can get items like hats or T-shirts or hoodies or shoes or all type of items really inexpensive. Yeah, just for pennies on the dollar. And so there's people that make a full-time living just going to the Goodwill bins, going to the Goodwill outlets, getting merchandise, and then they go home and then they'll either resell it like at the flea market locally, or they'll maybe resell it on eBay. But there's people, that's all they do, is that's their full-time gig, is go to the Goodwill outlets.
Every day they are at the bins. These people that I talk to every day, they're at the bins, and some of them send it home to their countries. But Jeff, we got a bunch of new people in the chat as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm not ignoring the chat. Let's see. Yeah, we had Lone Star Picker is here. He says, hope everyone is well. Ask Leroy about 15% to wear a Steelers hat. So I guess he's picking on your Steelers. Gravity Good says, yes, I strut my stuff on the catwalk. Yeah, I saw you on Instagram, man. You were in the zone, bro. We have Wendy here. We have Save here first. Alex says, good stuff, guys. I wanted to say hi to Jennifer Hayes. We appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us today. And then I wanted to say hi to Harry. Harry Humstone is here. Javela Flips. Annie is here. Hey, Annie, how are you doing tonight? And I think that's about it. I don't think here we go. Hyphen Gold just jumped in the chat. He says, what is your favorite tool that you like to sell and breakfast drink of choice? Do you have a breakfast drink of choice, Leroy? Tell us about that.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to laugh. I have a lot of my friends, I feel, are in the chat. So sometimes we tease each other. My breakfast drink of choice is water. That's my breakfast drink of choice. That's what I'm going with. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So what else were you saying, Jeff?
Oh, Hyphen Gold says, what is your favorite tool that you like to sell? Like when you're out, if you're selling items, selling tools, he wants to know what your favorite tool is.
I really like hammers. I like hammers and ratchets. Those are things that I look out for. But I know a lot of them. I've been doing it for a long time. So I've been selling on eBay for over 20 years. So
Awesome. Go ahead, Leroy. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No problem. I was looking back at my pictures, and because I have some pictures stored, and I have pictures from 2014 that I was looking at of old tools that I sell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to say hi to Butterfly Hustles. Just jumped in the chat. That's going to be our guest for tomorrow night. We got Butterfly Hustles, and Nana Tink is going to be here tomorrow on Friday night. So if you guys want to come hang out with Butterfly Hustles, it'll be your first time coming on the show. So Harry says, vintage wood planes sell well. So
yes, they do. Yes.
Go ahead. You want to talk about that a little bit, Leroy?
I don't know a lot about them. Like I always say, is you got to be careful with those because you don't know. What you have, and you sometimes at some of these auctions you can pay up for them, but some of those wood planes they go for hundreds of dollars. Some of the old Stanley and some of the small Stanley stuff, the little metal hand planes, some of those will go for decent amount as well.
All right, awesome. So, Leroy, have you had any major sales lately on eBay? Is there any hot items that we should be on the lookout for?
Last year I sold my most expensive item, and I don't even know what it is. It's the guy, one of my neighbors where I work, my warehouse is. He was into robotics, and he had a programming system and an eye scan. It was like a scan, and I sold it for $2,000. It was like $2,500. And then this year I sold a heating and air conditioning a testing kit. I sold that for 800, and I also sold a thermal printer for 900 about a month ago.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been killing it lately, Leroy.
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta not, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid, and if you can buy in bulk, you're not going to lose. If you can buy in bulk for a decent price, you're not going to lose. So, when I bought this guy's stuff, I paid $3,500 for everything, and I sold one thing for 25. No, did I know that was worth $2,500? No way. But there was also a bunch of things in there that I sold for 500, 300, 200. Like there was probably 15 items that I sold for over $200.
Yeah. Yeah, Leroy. Can you talk a little bit about that when you were talking about buying stuff in bulk? Because I kind of agree with you. When you get a big lot of merchandise and you're buying 50, 100, 200 items at a time, it cuts out a lot of sourcing time instead of going to a yard sale or a thrift store and you come home with 3 items or 5 items. When you could go get 50, 100, 200 items at a time, that really that really adds up, right? When you get a big bulk lot of merchandise.
Yeah, and that's why I always try to stress these estate auctions. Guys, there's a website. I think Jeff knows of it. If you know me, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, but it's called Auction Zip. It's one of the oldest platforms that I know of for reselling. I've been dealing with Auction Zip for over 20 years. And what it is it's like high bid. They do have piece by piece, but they also have a dictionary, an index of all the auctioneers that have ever registered for their website. So there are auction companies in there that don't even advertise no more. But you look it up, you look for your town, you see there's a lot of auction houses that they can't afford their mom and pop. They can't afford to put it on high bid or have somebody take all the pictures. So they get the estate. They put a call out for an auction. They have an auction, and in the beginning, there's people that are just buying the water bottle and they're buying the one screw, and then towards the end, they're selling table lots and box lots, and just they're selling a ton of stuff, and that's where you'll do good and it'll help you learn. If you're buying a table lot, just say you buy 300 pieces for $50. How much are you paying? You're paying 10 cents a piece. So you take it to the flea market yourself for 50 cents a piece and you double your money. Not saying that's what you guys want to do, but then you pull out the good stuff.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, is that you're when you're buying stuff, pennies, 10 cents on the dollar, you got a pretty good margin. You can resell it and still make a pretty good profit. So that's kind of the key, is just getting stuff at the right price. So you can make there's no lack of merchandise. There's merchandise everywhere. I mean, you can go just anywhere. I mean, I can go to a thrift store, pawn shop, Goodwill, Walmart clearance. I could go online, do online arbitrage. But the whole key is just to get it at the right price. And sometimes you can even get stuff for free as well. So you just got to be at the right place at the right time. One of the things that I do to try to get merchandise for free, especially on the weekends, on a Saturday or Sunday, you can go online on the Craigslist section and go to the free section, like on a Sunday afternoon, and all the stuff that's left over from yard sales that they didn't sell, they'll put out of the street curb for free. And then they'll say, hey, here's the address, come by and pick it up. And you can sort through it. And the stuff that's garbage, pitch it in the garbage. The stuff that you want to donate, you can donate. And the stuff that you want to resell, you can resell. Just give you 3 piles. It's almost like buying a storage locker or something, because you have your trash pile, you have your donate pile, and then you have your resell pile. And you have, no money tied up in it. And you can get video games. I mean, you can get video game controllers. There's all type of stuff. You don't know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah. And that's very true. Jeff, a lot of people sometimes at the different flea markets I go to, I told you about all the high end stuff that I sell. Some people all they sell every day is $50 to $300 items. And I'm not that guy, but I'm not afraid to sell 50-cent items. Of course, not on eBay, but I'll go to an auction and I'll buy box lots and table lots. And I am not afraid to go to a flea market and put 20 $5 50-cent bins in a row, and it's almost like a bin store. And I'm making $300. Like, I'm okay with that. I went out one day, I put all my stuff in a pile, and I made $300 cash money.
Yeah. Go ahead, Leroy. Keep talking. I wanted to grab an item real quick. Go ahead.
I'm not afraid of that. Like, a lot of people, they don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. But and then you take that 300. If you just start off, say you do storage lockers. I buy 4 storage lockers a year. That's what my goal is. Every year to get 4 units. And that helps feed my 50-cent bins. And I'll just get something for $300-400. And throughout the year, I'll try to start it off $5 table, $3 table, $1 table, and then it all goes down to 50-cent table. Then it all goes to back to Goodwill, or I'll give it to another vendor to try to see if they can make some money on it. But you just can't be afraid, especially in the beginning. You can't be afraid to try to sell some of the lower dollar items. If you're paying 50 cents for something, even on eBay, and you're profiting in your pocket after eBay fees, everything, you're profiting $5, but you sell 20 things, that's $100 a day.
Yeah, all the little stuff adds up, Leroy. I was just gonna say, like, I went to like, for example, I was at a pawn shop yesterday, right? And I just walked by. They had a whole bin of like these remotes, and they were selling these remotes. I don't know if you guys can see, for $1 a piece. This one remote right here sells for $20. So, I mean, if you just walk like that one, this one right here, this one sells for $20. So I spent, all in all, I went to the pawn shop yesterday, and I spent $5 at the pawn shop, right? And I come home and I list all the stuff on eBay. It was $130 worth of merchandise by the time I got home listing it. And, I only had $5 total tied up in everything. So, like I said, just wherever you're at, if you're out, whether you're at a flea market or a pawn shop, or even if you're at Walmart getting groceries, just stop by the clearance section, look around. You never know what you're going to find. And I was in and out the store in 5 minutes. I wasn't there all day waiting in line to check out. I went in, went on. I just was there looking around. And I'm telling you, Leroy, they had stuff, for example, they had DVDs like this, brand new in the shrink wrap, for a quarter, 25 cents a piece. So you just never know what type of merchandise you're going to find. You just got to be on the lookout. Wherever you're at, just keep your eyes peeled, and you're going to start running across merchandise. I wanted to say hi to a few people in the chat. I wanted to say hi to my buddy Eric. OBX Picker is here in the chat, hanging out with us. Hey, what's going on, Eric? The Resell Brothers are here hanging out, so they just stopped by to hang out with us. Wanted to say hi to Regina. Wendy is here. Butterfly Hustles is here hanging out with us. Jennifer says she was talking about your morning show with Mo, your listing show in the morning. Wanted to say hi to Hyphen Gold is here. Save here first. And I wanted to say hi to the Far North Life. And Hyphen Gold. So thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with us. The chat is moving. She says, my phone won't let me type. I need to check out some pawn shops. Yeah, for sure. Just be on the lookout. Like I said, it can just, wherever you're at, wherever you're at, if it's cold where you're at, because I'm in Florida, it was like 82 degrees down here. But like where my brother lives up in Kentucky, it was freezing cold weather. So if you don't have the opportunity to go to a yard sale or go to estate sales, just be on the lookout. Think about what other opportunities to go and get some merchandise. Go ahead, Leroy. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
And like you said, and sometimes I feel like I'm a broken record, but you're always on different platforms. But right now, I hate saying this, guys, but we're going through a really tough time in society, and a lot of small businesses are closing. Go around your local towns. You'll see some of these buildings have not been opened up for days, months, half a year now. Get it a little note. Put a card under the door. Slide it in the mailbox. Slide it under the door. Hey, I'm a reseller. I see that you're going through tough times. If you're willing to sell anything, I'm willing to buy stuff. This is what I do to try to make a living. And there's a lot of places you'll be surprised. There's a hobby shop that I go into that's in my area, and I'll go in there every 3 or 4 months, and she'll have a little table, a little like four shelves, and that will be the clearance section. And I've gone in there and I've said, how much? She'll like, $3 a piece. I was like, I want all of it. How much for all of it? And very easily, there's 300-400 pieces. And she'll be like, I don't know, $80. Because now they're not playing. They can move that shelf and put something else in. So that's what you can do. It's not just these big box stores. A lot of these small mom and pop places, they actually have clearance, guys. So go check out them and talk to them. And I am not giving anybody 25% of anything, Jeff, just so you know.
Yeah. All right. We got people in the chat. Resale Brother says, great idea, Leroy. Get a lot of brand new Levi's that way. I wanted to say hi to Derek is here hanging out with us today from Fundamentals of Side Hustling. You guys had a good show the other day for your Hump Day hangout. Butterfly Hustle says, good idea. And I wanted to say hi to Mike from January House, just stopped in to hang out with us today. So thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with us today. If you have questions for Leroy, drop it in the chat. And also, I started something new recently where I now have a link that I drop in the chat, StreamYard link. So if you want to jump on and you can click on the StreamYard link and you can come in and hang out with us and ask Leroy questions, probably next week. I also bought a second cell phone, so I'm going to start doing listing live. So I just ordered, 100 Blu-rays. So I'm just going to come hang out with you guys, and I'm going to start doing listing lives, maybe for a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, and we're just going to hang out and list some items and talk and answer questions, shoot the breeze, and hang out. So it's not going to be as exciting as Joey Bada Bing and Drew, but we'll hang out and have a good time. So Leroy, talk to me, man. What tell me about some of the other platforms that you've been selling on besides eBay. Have you been making any other sales lately on other platforms? Have you sold things locally?
Just the flea market. Just the flea market. That's it. Just the flea market and eBay. That's pretty much it.
All right, Leroy. So tell people about when you go to a flea market, how does somebody go about setting a booth up at the flea market? Like, because you get there early in the morning, right? And you can make some pretty good money early in the morning going to these flea markets and setting up a booth there. I mean, I've heard of some of these guys making $300-400 a day selling stuff locally at the flea market.
Oh yeah, I do it with 50-cent items. I'll explain that, but I'll get into what I do is you go on your cell phone, you look up your local areas. Again, it can be a flea market or it can be a swap meet, and you look up and look to where the ratings are. So I'll go on my phone and I'll look where the ratings are. Okay, this one has 2,000 comments, or you look for the highest ones. That's usually going to be your better flea market. Then you call them up. They have stuff on there. They'll say how much the tables are, but you're better off just calling them up. Hey, my name is Leroy and I'm interested in getting a spot. How does it work? What do I need to bring? And just ask them questions. What do I need to know? And they'll set you up. They'll tell you have to pay in person, or you may have to pay over the phone. It all depends on how the facility, they all run their own show. So it usually goes by a space. So some of them, like, they'll do a table down here in the South. It's a table in like a 10-foot space. It's like 10 by 10, and they have a table provided. I usually bring my own to make more room, to get more footage out. So you get your spot and you set everything up. They'll give you a time. All right, we want everybody to have everything set up before 9 o'clock. And you can't leave until 3, but talk to other vendors because they'll tell you, what they get away with, So you go, you set up your stuff, you always want to try to look professional. So I use different tablecloths and I make stuff so my stuff's slanted a little bit. Like I said, more tables, more space to put stuff, and you sell for the day. And my motto is, if you pick this up and I want $3 for this, the odds are I'm not letting you leave until you buy it. Unless you're just a tire kicker, I'm not letting you leave. And then if I have another one, I'm going to try to double it and make even more money. So I just make sure that I just keep trying to, and I'm friendly to them. I give them bags. They like my energy, And I hey, come back. Make sure you come back next time. Look for the red van or look for the white van. I come here once a month, and you just build a relationship with these people. And I get people that come to my flea market stand and they want to buy stuff just because I'm there. They don't need it. They don't. They got more. They got 800 screwdrivers. They don't need another one, and they'll buy it because they like your drive. They like your personality. Sometimes you can also get a lot of leads there. So somebody will say to you, "Hey, my uncle has a lot of old tools. Why don't you stop by or ask them? Hey, you got it? You got any tools? Anybody? If you know anybody, I used to have cards when I was in New England, and it was I will buy your old tools. And when I sold something to somebody, I would give them a card, and I got a lot of leads that way, believe it or not, because people like, oh, this guy's no joke, and then they would tell their family members or give it to their dad or their brother or their son, if he lost his job and he was a mechanic. So you can buy stuff at the flea markets, you can sell stuff at the flea markets, and you can also get contacts at the flea markets. It's a very good place to try to go and help build your business. But some of you guys don't have flea markets. So, okay, I don't have a flea market, Leroy, or in my area, I can't have a yard sale, but your brother's house you can. Or there is a convenience store that you go and get cigarettes every day. You can talk to the guy and say, hey, listen, Johnny, is it okay if I give you $50? Can I set up in the corner? Be honest with them. I can't have a flea market at my house. Can I have a yard sale in front of your business? You see this gas station gets tons of people. You ask him and he'll say, hey, you know what? No, I don't like that because of insurance purposes, or they'll want more business. So they'll be like, yeah, you can do it. Yeah. So you just have to think outside of the box, guys. You can't just try to have an excuse. Think of ways that you can, if you're sick of one flea market or you're sick of having a yard sale, like I said, at your house, go to your mother's house, have one at her house. If they're seeing that you're trying, they're not going to say no.
Okay, awesome, Leroy. We check this out. We got a comment in the chat. Derek says, I need you to send me my weekly earnings, Leroy. I feel like you're ripping me off.
I will, as long as he's not going to send Anthony, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want him to. So guys, in this industry, you also got to make sure you make friends. And sometimes you joke around with your friends and it makes your day go. We sit behind these computers or our cell phones for hours. So you'll see stuff going in the chats. We're joking around. I'm joking with Derek. I joke with Jennifer. We all joke around because it helps us get through our day, because we're stuck behind this cell phone or this computer, or stuck in a thrift store, or stuck in a flea market. So these are also ways that you can, react with people. And you never know. One day Derek might call me and say, hey, Leroy, I just got a whole truckload of tools. Do you want to go halves with me? Or what do you know about them? So you just can't be afraid, and you have to build friendships.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just never know when opportunities are going to come along. Like I live locally in Tampa, and Rally Roots and Rockstar Flipper live here in town. And one day I just talked to Rockstar Flipper on the phone. I was like, hey man, he's like, I got 3 big pallets of remotes that I want to sell and get rid of. He's like, are you interested? So you just never know. It's all about building relationship. Just like you were talking about earlier at the flea market, you're like, hey, I'm building relationships with people at the flea market. You're having repeat customers, repeat vendors. I mean, it's that would definitely help. So I wanted to say hi to a couple people in the chat. We got Butterfly Hustles this year. Joe Dill stopped by to hang out with us. I wanted to say hi to Javela Flips is here. Lone Star Picker, Save Here First. I wanted to say hi to Derek, Fundamentals of Side Hustling. Jennifer Hayes is here hanging out with us today. The Resell Brothers and the Flippin' Sports Guy is here. So I'm sorry if I missed some people in the chat. And I wanted to say hi to Mike from January House. So Leroy, talk a little bit about, give me your top 2 or 3 tips that would help somebody make more money reselling. Like if someone is maybe part-time, maybe they're thinking about going full-time, or maybe they're full-time and they just want to make more sales and make more money. What are some of the top 2 or 3 tips or pointers or advice you would give somebody to help them out, Leroy, to help them make more money? I'm going to put you on full screen. Go ahead.
If you already have an established store, you want to go and you want to start getting more expensive items. So you got to put a little bit more money out there. So if you see something at a estate sale on Craigslist, and it's like, oh man, I really don't have, I don't have the $350. save up until you have the $350, and then that kind of item will come back up. But don't just stay in that one box and just buy the $50 items. Sometimes you have to just save up. Just sit back, save up, sell the little things. Like I keep telling you guys, sell the little things. Every time you sell a 50-cent item, put 10 cents away, and then have that little bit of bulk. And then you go and you spend $500 and buy a little bit better stuff. So then your price average goes up a little bit. Me personally, I don't mind selling cheap stuff because I always joke around and I say, I'm not trying to make $1 million. I'm just trying to sell $1,000. I'm just trying to sell 1 million things at 50 cents a piece. It just to say, like, it doesn't matter. Like I'm still going to make my living. So don't be afraid. And again, we always say on all these platforms, don't be afraid to ask people for stuff. Don't be, hey, how you doing, Harry? I'm sorry, I had to say hi to Josh. But don't be afraid, guys, to like ask people to ask people for, advice. There's so many people here. We're all here watching somebody talk about tools and how to build up our businesses. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. Sometimes we might not be able to get back to you. You might message me and I might not be able to get back to you, but I usually try to get back on my Instagram. So Instagram is always a good way to contact myself. But don't be afraid to ask. That's going to help you build your business. Don't sit there and think you know everything. Ask these guys, ask us guys some questions. It will always help you.
Yeah, I was going to say a big thing is, Leroy, is just, you got to be able to reinvest your money back in your business. Like you were saying earlier, if I sold an item for 50 cents, I'm going to put 10 cents of that away to maybe reinvest back in my business. And you just got to be able to do that, and then over time, maybe you started off with $100 or $200 to start your business. But then as you reinvest your money back in your business, it's slowly going to grow over time. So I wanted to say hi to my buddy, Harry Tornado, stopped in to hang out with us today. We appreciate you guys for coming on and hanging out. So, Leroy, tell people where they can find you at on YouTube and Instagram. Tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel. Because last time when I had you on the show, you said you didn't have a YouTube channel. You said you were going to go hang out with Prison of Profit and work on your editing. Like, how did that go? Tell everybody about your YouTube channel that you launched it. You just had a guest on your show recently, didn't you?
Yeah. So I am all over the place. I am all over the place right now. I'm just trying to build my brand and trying to learn. You learn from your mistakes. So I have to do it day by day, guys, just to explain it because it's a little confusing. But for the next couple of weeks on Mondays, I'm on YouTube on my channel. I have my channel up and going. I have a live chat with a young lady, Miss Taffy. We talk about, it's Black History Month, so we're doing Black History Month in Reselling, celebrating Black History Month. So we have a couple more days left of that for February. So that's very important to me, being half Black, and just being a human being. I have a good platform, so I just try to share and try to help others. So it's just a good way. So I'm there on Monday on my own channel. On Wednesday on my own channel, I do a working hangout for 45 minutes at 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. And then on Wednesday, I do a tool talk on Kentucky Pickers channel. And then I have a morning show with Reselling Niche. And that is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we do Thursdays, but we might be changing that. So I am all over the place, guys. Just look up Blood, Sweat, and Sell and Jennifer's put it in the link on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm Blood, Sweat, and Sell there as well.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to say hi to a few people that jumped in the chat. We got Lady Luck Junk is here hanging out with us. We got Javela Flips. Annie is here. Butterfly Hustles, Save Her First is here. I wanted to say hi to Angie Resells. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with us today. She says, hit the thumbs up. I saw your live caught the replay with your live with the Cap guy the other day. So you guys are doing a good job. And I wanted to say hi to the Bearded Thrift Machine, and the Flippin' Sports guy is here hanging out with us. So Leroy, man, we've had you on the stream for about an hour. Give me your final thoughts. What would your give me your final thoughts, and we'll let you go. I got your links down below if you guys want to go follow Leroy for his Instagram and YouTube. Go by and check him out.
Final thoughts. Keep up the good work, everybody. Everybody keep up the good work. Always feel free to message me at any time, or Jeff. Jeff is whenever I reach out to Jeff, he's there for me. So again, stick with each other. Always try to build each other. If someone's not sure, if someone's doing something wrong, don't pick on them. Just tell them how you do it to make them better. So don't go around talking bad about me because I do something wrong. Just pull me off to the side. Go on my Instagram. Hey, Leroy, maybe you should do it this way. You shouldn't say that. Or, you shouldn't say this. It's just certain things to help us all build. Like, I'm not selfish. Like, I'm going to help every one of you guys before I help myself. That's just how it works. When Jeff messaged me, he said, this is the first time I've done a double interview. No, I've done one other double interview. But most time I don't get a double interview. So he asked me, I was like, I wonder why he wants me to do a double interview. But, because he sees what I'm doing. He sees that I'm trying hard. So he supports me. I support him. And you guys just have to make sure that, you keep it up. And like I said, don't be afraid to message me. Any tool questions. I don't know them all, but I've dealt with a lot of tools.
Yeah, I actually talk to Leroy a lot. Sometimes I'll just message Leroy and I'll say, hey, Leroy, how are you doing today? How is your day going? So even if it's not nothing reselling related, I'll just say, hey, man, how are you doing? How is your day going? How are you feeling? How was your weekend? So it's just important to be able to keep up and talk to your friends and be able to reach out and ask questions. So 1987, Ventures Tracy just dropped in. And let's see, Bearded Thrift Machine says, hey, Carol, great job on paying your car off. You're crushing it. Yeah, guys. Come by tomorrow around 4 o'clock. We have Butterfly Hustles and Nana Tink will be here. So come by and hang out with them and we'll have a good time. And Leroy, we appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us, man. I got your links down below in the description. They can go by and follow you and hang out with you. And hopefully we'll get to see you again soon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody that's in the chat, if I didn't say hello, thank you for coming and hanging out with Jeff and I. And I'll see you guys in some other chats.
Okay, awesome. All right, you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock with Butterfly Hustles and Nana Tink. I'll see you then. You guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.